Hi! Hi everyone. Oh. Okay. Oopsie. Ouch, that coffee's too hot. Need to let that cool down. Right. Also, that music might be a little bit too loud. I can always modify it in a bit. Anyway, good morning and welcome. Welcome to your Thursday. I hope you're having a nice smooth week wherever you are currently in the world. Over here, things are good, actually. I've just gotten back from having some coffee with my mum. So we got some coffees and we wandered around the park, and Lulu got some attention and some lovies. And yeah, so my mum's okay, I'm okay. All's good, really. So, to kickstart this morning then, please know that I'm working on Rising Storm Vietnam Bullshittery Part 3, a bullshittery that was voted for by the patrons and the Twitch subscribers. I could realistically start any time, really, as in assembling the video, but I do have a large number of streams. It would be nice to go through them to find the clips and do something that I'm calling nesting, which is basically where I'm taking the clips and saving them in their own nests in Adobe Premiere. Their own clips, their own timelines, with their own separate names and categorization, so I can easily find them later. Strictly speaking, it's not essential. I do have more than enough clips to just edit part 3, but it's just nice to have more tools in the toolbox, really. So yeah, I'll be doing that for today and certainly for tomorrow. On the weekend, I do have to worry about some tax-related side homework that I need to get done. So yeah, busy this week. The tax deadline is rapidly approaching, you see. Yeah, how are you all doing? Thank you, Exile and Nervous Hawk, if you're still there. How are things? Hi there, Lady Sandwich. Welcome indeed. So yes, I might just start off the stream with another launch of my heavyweight space plane after the learnings made yesterday. The chat showed me that apparently these ramjet engines improve in efficiency the faster you're going, something that my normally sort of rocket-focused mind didn't really comprehend. Typically you want to do the fast burn in the, the less dense areas of the atmosphere, but that might not be the case for these specific types of engines. Which tax avoidance scheme am I going? The total opposite, umlaut. This is tax declaration. Okay, I'm going to take that off entirely, though. So this is tax declaration, and also, so yeah, it's just the normal tax deadline, but also the tax man has asked for specific records on a tax year, and they want me to send this bit here, please. So it's just extra homework for this particular tax year. Although I have been a good boy, I did most of it in August. It's really just finishing. For some reason, though, the accountancy thing that I'm using is super rammed right now. They seem mostly to do with COVID. It surprised me, because I would have figured that accountancy is one of those things that's not really affected by COVID, but then when I talked to a friend yesterday about it, they suggested that maybe they can't do it from home, what with security concerns? Regardless, it sounds like, yeah, they're behind quite considerably. Thank you, Fuzzy. Thank you very much, Fuzzy. And Safe Sebastian and Danny. Thank you, all of you. Right. So, this plane is actually not too bad. I'm rather liking the look of it so far. What I should do, though... What do I need to modify onto it? Oh, yes, before I forget to do it, is there that small fuel dump thing? Hang on. We should also, just in case it has no power at all... So this is the science lab with a bunch of detachable sections. There's certainly some things that I should add while we're here. Just thinking about some extras. Hang on. Thinking about extras. What can we add? We should add one of these. No, wait. What's the ship equivalent of one of those? There's like a power-generating, decaying isotope container. Here, radioisotope thermoelectric generator. It will continue to generate power. Only a little bit of power, but enough to kickstart a dead probe. We'll put one there. Just there. Just in case we need it. Just in case, for whatever reason, all of the solar panels are covered. At least we have some power. Thank you, Araxis and Pseudo Cats. Thank you very much, both of you. Okay. Yeah, and Fuzzy and Nate Sab243. Thank you, all of you. Thank you. RTGs. What's an RTG? Poland ball, sorry. What does that mean? What does an what does an RTG mean? Can you build and add some rovers to it? I probably could, to be honest. But the trouble is the space at the back there is looking a bit thick. There's not really a huge amount of room to attach a rover, but we could always put like a grip space on it if we wanted to attach a rover later. So coupling. I'm not even sure if they work that well. I've never really experimented with them. Thank you, Lucky Wolf. So these grip pads, I think they're mostly for robot legs, but we could always just put one here and have the engineers move it later. Just nice to have one, you know. Where should we place it? Let's put it on the underside just for now. Just mount it there, and then it's just there if we need it. This is vanilla, Fana. Thank you, Lucky Wolf. Thank you very much, Lucky Wolf. Okay. What am I building? I'm trying to send a space plane, a heavy-set space plane for operations, well, beyond Kerbin, really. We do have a much smaller space plane in service at the Duna base, but this is the Xerxes, named for the weird attachments and extras. It's got fewer now, though, but Cyanide dubbed it Xerxes. Okay. I could use a robot arm and a cargo bay thing like a shuttle. I could, but she's already looking quite big. But you are right, we could do that. We could like add a middle extension. Sorry, I'm trying to find a specific thing. I'm not sure what it's called. Is it under the fuel tanks maybe? I'm looking for a small port that I can use to dump excess fuel in the event that I don't need it. Is this it? This is it, the drain valve. So what's this? So this is a cargo part that can be placed inside inventories. Okay. But I can mount it on the side, right? Does every tank need a drain valve, I wonder? Or is it just one placement does everything? Hang on. Okay. Drain resources, yeah. Just the one. So let's just put one of these, just because there's a few times where it's been relevant to drain, say, excess liquid fuel because you don't have the necessary oxidizer. So let's just place that. Is it snapped? Does that mean that's not snapped in line? It does. Get that all in line. Okay. Cool. Right. Yeah. So anyway, I hope everyone's having a nice day today. So the lesson learnt last night about these engines being much more efficient the faster you travel. So that's going to be kind of cool to know. Oh yeah, there was another thing. So how can I calculate the total amount of fuel that I have and oxidizer? Is there like a report? Part strength design. I just need like the total amount. We might have to take it to the runway and have a look. Give it a save. Save the Zerk. Just take it outside for a second. Of course, Corgi. I'm sure. Welcome indeed, Corgi Boom. Have I sorted my flaps? Probably not, Fortes. In fact, I just removed one. I removed what I presume was the offending flap. See, yeah, the fact that canard is pointing down, that's not a problem because it's at the front, right? I hope that's not a problem. Okay, sorry, just pop the brakes on for a second. So how much fuel do I have in total? So liquid fuel, 7,920. Oxidizer, 6,380. So I presume I've got more liquid fuel than I require. But do I though? Because I've got to bear in mind that I'm not going to be using most of the oxidizer. Save the liquid fuel for the initial climb. No, okay, leave that as is. Okay. So let's do another experiment then. So let's rethink. Let's go back to. Whoops! I should have just reverted. Let's go back to thinking how these boosters work. So the error I was making before was thinking that I could cruise the plane up really high and then initiate the boosters and then go for an orbital burn like a rocket. But let's think the other way. Let's do boosters initially to pick up enough speed to fill the ramjet engines full of enough air to hopefully travel so fast that we can climb crazy high. I don't know if it's going to work. We'll see. So, bring up the stats. So there's my centre of gravity. That's my centre of lift, just behind the centre of gravity there. So let's go with some boosters, just as we had before, but launched at a different time. Do we even need boosters when we could just go with liquid fuel? Okay, hang on. Now we'll start with the boosters. Underslung, maybe, here and here. So if I put 2 thumpers here and here, we'll put them on, hang on. Couple, oh yeah, we need lots of struts as well, just to make sure it all holds together. So radial decoupler, to give it enough room, and it should fall away smoothly, I hope. Switch off the snapping, because that's gone a bit weird on me. Whoops. Anyway, sorry for the people just passing through the stream. Please know that after this stream, I'll be cracking on with Rising Storm, Vietnam Bullshittery Part 3, as voted for by the patrons and the Twitch subs. Yeah, I'll do my best. So it's a bit awkward. I need to point them forward as well. So I'll do my best to edit it properly. I'm spending the rest of the week just going through and grabbing some clips really that will prove useful. I've got lots of footage saved on, well, was on the NAS, so the storage device. So I've moved them over to one of my editing hard drives, and I'm just going through reading the notes and discarding that which I don't think is funny in hindsight, and keeping that which I think is. And properly trying to sort of quantify the nature of the jokes. It's very tricky to try and... There we go. Sweet. Alright. Okay, so... Yeah. Is he back to more boosters to make it go? Yes, Relife, but a different way of thinking about it now. We'll taxi down the runway and take off. And then when we get to, not that high, to be honest, I mean, I'm not sure exactly how high, a few kilometres up, we'll initiate the boosters to pick up speed to ram those ramjet engines. So thinking about that, we need to really think about reducing drag, don't we? So is there anything on the outside that can actually be moved inside, such as monopropellant tanks? Yeah, these don't have to be outside. Put those on the roof in there. Okay, they're poking through. Lower them a smidge. Are they clear? A bit more of a smidge. There we go. Just clear, I think. Ever so slightly. Can I move them forward and down? Alright. Add a tail skid wheel. Might save my arse. Tail skid wheel? Tail skid wheel. What's that, sorry? What's the tail skid wheel? Just a wheel on the tail. Well, like there, you mean? Well, at the minute, I'm just having to be careful when I lift up slowly. I mean, yeah, these boosters could accidentally rub against the floor. At some point, Wildcat, I'm sure I'll get back in the mood. But for the minute, I feel that I've played it all. Okay. Have a little wheel on the end in case of a tail strike. Could do. So, wouldn't it block the door, though? That's the door. The wheel won't attach to it, surely. Oh, yeah, why not? Just give it a quick little bit, even if it's just a small one. Is that even gonna do it? I mean, yeah, it's quite. Yeah, see, that's gonna be tricky, isn't it? I could always rip it off later. Right. Okay. Is it fully... hang on, make sure it's snapped so it's centralized. And it's upside down. Cool, there we go. Yeah, cool. Right, so let's take it for a welly. Let's see what happens. So initiate these engines to start our initial climb. Then, when we are up to a few kilometers, we initiate these boosters to pick up enough speed to ram these ramjet engines. Whoops. and then see how high we can climb after that. Then we detach them there, let them fall, and then that's for much later. Okay. So, so Markin's keen to fly, but frankly I need them ready for a potential future space mission somewhere else. This is just going to be a drone flight for the minute. Let's take her out. Hi there, Quebec. I hope you're very well, Quebec. Right, let's go out to the launch pad. Thank you, Extreme907 and Genomai and Lucky Wolf. Thank you, all three of you. Thank you, folks. So yes, today's good, really. Not much is really happening this week. Just editing and tax stuff, really. It's all very straightforward. The dog is behind me. I think the camera's still malfunctioning, I'm afraid. I need to have a look at that. She's behind me, just flopped on the sofa having a snooze. She's good, she's happy. Right, here we go then, everyone. So let's try this out and see how the new approach fares. Thank you, Ash Derpinson. Thank you very much. Does the ant cam work? Indeed it does. The ants seem fine. I haven't checked on them today though, but they're on their heat mat and it's 24.2 degrees inside the ant farm. So yeah, they're fine. Here we go. Initializing engines to begin our taxi. Yeah, we do have a hell of a sideways... It's probably the gimbals someone suggested doing that on the engines. Hell of a wobble going on. Keep going, pick up enough speed. We're going to have to go faster if we want to take off. Okay, get ready to attempt to take off. Here we go. Up wheel. Oh, dearie me. Not quite what I was hoping for. Oh dear. What the hell is that? For just something flew. Is that one of the engines? What the fuck? Oh dear. Yeah. So, more speed, I suppose, to take off effectively? More lift, maybe? Okay, back to the hangar. Maybe I shouldn't have removed that that flap. More wing. It's hard to get more wing. I mean, I've got quite a few wing surfaces here. I think we just need more speed. Replace the shrimp boosters from before, maybe. That's how we were getting up before. Yeah, what is that wiggle? That wiggle is very strange. Is it the gimbal? Free locked. Maybe, can I just tone down steering enabled? No, I can't, like... Too much drag from the things underneath. Possibly. Okay. Are the wheels on straight? Maybe not. That one should be in line. What about the back one, though? Lots more control surfaces for the long wings. Yeah, okay. We'll just put on another control surface. So 1 minute. Deploy angle 15. Does it have like a this way up sign on it? I can't know. Right. 1 minute. So same type of control surface there. Just so I don't confuse it, hopefully. Oops. It's not in, there we go, symmetry mode. Okay. Is that the right way round? Another control surface there. What about there? Should we put another one there? Add one here, just because. See what happens there. Okay. Give it a save. The Xerxes MK4. So last night was actually quite exciting. I didn't expect Kerbal to be so interesting. For those not familiar, I took a probe up to the moons of Jupiter, known as Joule. And I'd never been that far before. I'd sent probes out to Joule, of course, but I'd never gone down to Joule to see it. And I was doing some exploration of the moons. No science missions, just purely navigational data. figuring out how much Delta V it would cost me to go there. The answer is a lot. It's very expensive, surprisingly so. But what surprised me, what got exciting, is that as I went past the individual moons out of Jool and saw them for the very first time, I saw that the first one that I saw was a rocky, muddy Minmus type thing. The second one was an icy, inhospitable, mountainous place like Europa or maybe Titan. The third one was shocking. Atmosphere, oxygen, water, liquid water on its surface. Did not expect that. The potential to find life. That far out, liquid water, a shocking discovery. So I'm super excited to possibly send an actual probe, get a Kerbal out there with some scientific experiments and some microscopes, have a good look at the composition of that beautiful blue world, Lathe. Okay. Right, initiating next attempt. Here we go. So all I really did was put down some control surfaces, but I didn't actually increase my speed. So I'm looking forward to going back. Hell of a wiggle on the takeoff here. Maybe there is something that's not in alignment properly. I imagine it's quite unforgiving. Go. Come on. Up. Nope, it's not having it. Well, my flap's not round the right way, maybe? I should have checked that. Revert back to the launch, sorry. Thank you, Ponic and Tobum. Thank you very much. I need to get rid of the centre of the wheel. It's stopping me from lifting. Which one? Oh, this one. Oh, don't worry, I am. Observe. By pressing the 2 key, it retracts. That's what I'm doing to launch. The reason that's there is because this plane is not going to be flying in this airspace eventually. It's going to land on Duna. I'm not doing a 3-wheel landing on the surface, the sandy surface of Duna. I need this desperately. In fact, I'm even tempted to put on some full-on retractable legs that will come down to as shock absorbers. So yeah, this wheel is retracting. It's just we're not lifting. Oh, interesting. Hang on. So are these changing their direction based on your center of thrust, maybe, or your center of weight? They're both doing it automatically. I think I do. Yeah, we are taxiing much slower than usual. So, I mean, we barely reached 100 meters per second. Last time we took off at like 160, didn't we? Okay. Let's try putting some extra shrimp boosters for the initial oomph. Okay. Use jet engine, indeed. We've got 6 jet engines, the Rapier engines. Oh, do you mean the the other ones? No, they're super inefficient. They won't be suitable for space travel. They won't work beyond the air of Kerbin, which is where we're going, where it's going to spend most of its time. Okay. Right. What's inside that makes it so heavy? Well, it's mostly the boosters right now that are making it so heavy. Right, so let's add some initial taxi down the runway speed shrimp boosters, these things here. So put it in symmetry mode, mount them here and here. Yeah, and then we'll have them jettison and break away and fly away. So this is what we did before, and it worked fine, in fact. Although we did have quite a few of them, didn't we? Hang on. So mount those there. So their only purpose will be to get us that initial kick down the runway. Let's put 2 of them. Like that. And then let's get some aerodynamic nose cones on them. Smaller. So I'll probably play with this for a little bit and then have a look at some of the transfers to the different planets and go and see if we can design something to go to, well, whatever the next transfer will be for the next world that we need to explore. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a lovely day today. Yeah, not much else is happening really. It's all very peaceful, just getting on with the editing really. Super chuffed to see that Team Fortress went well. People like that, which is great. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So detach and lift them away. So, hang on a second. So, engines go on. The shrimps will join in. There we go. Can we get all the shrimps, please? There we go. So push us hard down the runway, and then that will... Oh, wrong jettison. It's this one here. Okay. Detach, and then those will get lifted away by the rockets. Okay, and then a little bit of altitude, then we initiate the big old boosters down there, which are here. Wait. Where are the boosters themselves? There they are for some reason. That's to make the ramjets more effective. Then we break those off. Okay. Cool, and that's for much later. Alright. Let's see how we go there. Are both shrimps in there? I don't think they are they? Where's the other shrimp? Hang on. Up there. Cool, that should be good. Right, save the Xerxes MK4. Alright. Raise the rear wheel before takeoff. Indeed, we are doing that, Peely. We've never not been doing that. Okay. Stabilizer enabled. Here we go. So, initiating. Let's see if we can push down the runway faster. Hell of a wobble. Okay, way faster now. This is much better. Much, much better. Lots more speed here. Up goes that wheel. Come on. Whoop. Up, 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 up. Up, 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 up. Oh no, we've gone off the... Come on! Give us some lift. Ah! God, she's a heavy beast. There we go. Get ready to jettison those shrimps. Jettison the shrimps. Now. Thank you, shrimps. And we're up. God, she's a heavy one. Alright. Here we go. So, let's start climbing. Let's get a little bit beyond the densest part of the atmosphere. And then we'll initiate the boosters and basically ram those ramjets. Alright. So climb, climb, climb. So, yeah, for those joining, you're looking at experiments on a space plane. So again, revelation yesterday. My rocket type brain wasn't aware of the fact that the engines become a lot more efficient with the more air being stuffed into them, rammed into them. So I was thinking about it backwards, I think. So get super high where the air is thin and then activate your boosters and then fly to orbit. But it might be the other way, maybe. Not climbing very fast? No, we're not. Come on. Let's get a bit higher now. Come on. Let's go, let's go. Indeed. So to get fast low and then climb, says Duck Willy. Which my brain wasn't thinking like that. So now that we've redesigned the plane for that, let's see what happens. When I initiate the boosters, I wonder if they'll be too strong. They might just knock me off horrendously. We'll see. Alright, so, about 3 kilometers up now. Should we initiate these ramjets and see what happens? Maybe go a bit higher. Keep climbing, keep climbing. A little bit higher. Indeed, that's the question, Pandrakar. So, would it be better to do this at the dense air at low altitude? Okay. Well, let's just give it a go. Just give it a go. We're learning. Here we go. So, initiating these boosters. How are we going to do? Keep the engines full for the control. There we go. Initiating boosters now. Picking up speed. So, obviously, there's going to be a shit ton of drag this far down. Picking up speed. Oof. We've pretty much doubled our speed. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Losing altitude? Yep. Okay. So get ready to detach. So that works, yeah, that worked better than I thought. Detach. Now, here we go. The ramjets are picking up speed as they receive more and more air. So does it keep escalating now, or does it slow down? What happens now? Do we point up, or do we just maintain the current climb? Speed is increasing. Altitude is increasing. Still quite low though, aren't we? Okay. There we go. We are indeed picking up speed. It's moving. Yeah, it's going up super high now. Holy shit. Look at that. Look at that speed going up. We're climbing and we're climbing. The sky is getting darker gradually the higher we go. We'll need to switch out, well, close the engine system and switch over to just liquid fuel and oxidizer soon. What is it, like 15k or something? So I'll get ready to do that. So we started off at 200 meters per second. We're just passing 830. Get ready. So the engines are about to be starved of oxygen. Soon. Indeed, we're heating up now. But the atmosphere is getting thinner the higher we climb. Keep going, keep going. Keep going. There we go. We're 15 kilometers up now. $17 kilometers. Atmosphere is getting much thinner, so get ready to switch over to the closed system using liquid fuel and oxidizer instead of just liquid fuel and air. Okay, here we go. Gonna have to do it because we're... Here we go. The engines, you hear them? Switching over to the closed system now. Did I do it? Was that the right mode? Air breathing. Nope, that was the wrong button. What did I just initiate? Initiated something. The vernier engines, maybe? I think I did. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Right, okay. Picking up speed again. So we've closed off the air intake, and now it's just effectively rockets. Just normal rockets instead. Continuing to pick up speed, continuing to climb. Ah, so yeah, I remember. So we got to this point last time, and we had this, didn't we? We had this uncontrolled nose-raising problem. So we're probably going to experience it again. Have yet to determine what's causing it. So look, can you see this? So I'm holding... So dial down the engines a bit. So what's causing that, I wonder? My control surfaces are balked. Well, this high up, that's probably... Well, it might be it, but bear in mind the atmosphere is getting thinner, so control surfaces are having less and less of an effect on your flight. Now it's just to do with gimbaled engines, really. So maybe insufficient... Maybe there's just insufficient gimbaling on the engines. Maybe they just simply can't turn fast enough. Maybe. Okay, so we're actually quite far from the app now. How high is the app? 47 kilometers. Maybe I should hold off for a second. Yeah, just hold off for a moment. So just treat it like a rocket now. Here we go. So, note the atmosphere is getting very wispy. We're up to 41 kilometers. We are 1 minute and 6 seconds from the apoapsis, the highest point of an orbit. Yeah, less balked steering there. But, well, I've switched the engines off, so we'll have to wait and see. Okay, my thrust vector of my engines is under my center of mass. I'll have a look, Code Talker. Yeah, if it's going to do that at Duna, that's going to be most frustrating. You could always just send a replacement if that happens. Right, 40 seconds from apoapsis. We're going to start burning a bit earlier then, because I might not be able to burn... Yeah, here we go. See what I mean? Yeah, it's probably insufficient gimbaling. Gimbal, free gimbal. The gimbaling... Yeah, gimbals is terrible. Look how piss poor these engines are moving. Normally a rocket lets you spin them all over the place, but these... few degrees. Frustrating. So that means despite the successful altitude, we might not be able to pick up enough speed. So we need... The target is 2,200 meters per second. See, that's the problem. See, we're lifting like that, see? That's... I can't, PD. I can't full throttle and send it. Not with this problem, see? The control surfaces are now functionally useless. It's all gimbal. Nothing but gimbal. And if your engines can only gimbal a few degrees... That's true. We'll initiate the RCS. But again, RCS is not for this. It's all gimbals up in space. RCS is really just for small maneuvers. These tiny little puffs are not going to really make the difference. Or will they? Hang on. Here we go. So, where's my app? I'm riding the app. I've just passed it, in fact. Can I push the app? Puff, 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 puff. So, yeah, we're just skimming the top of the atmosphere as we descend now. Pulling a space shuttle. So, try to limit the drag as we just try to get the final bit. Close, though. Come on. Counteract the drag. A little bit. Okay. Almost. Okay, there we go. So we've now achieved an orbit, a successful orbit, but it's all within the atmosphere right now. So can I just keep cruising a bit higher? Keep going. Right, my apoapsis is now out of the atmosphere. Push it higher and higher and higher. So we're probably just going to get too much atmospheric heating. There we go. Oh no, we're about to pass the Perry and it's only 40... Ah, okay. We might have actually done it. Hold on. It depends if the plane survives the heating. Point prograde, keep drag to the minimum. So we've just passed the periapsis, the lowest point, and now we're climbing. So we're skimming through at 45 kilometers, which is quite low. Some pieces might start breaking off due to overheating, which would be a shame. But if we can now get to the thin part of the atmosphere and climb high enough, we would have done it. we would have achieved orbit. So it's really a question of, can we just survive? Can most of the plane survive? For this purpose... No, don't start a spin. I was going to start a spin there to try and reduce the strain on some of the parts. Let's see. Let's just find out. Let's see if some of the parts are sufficiently heat resistant. Just keep the front of the plane facing forward, minimize the drag. We're climbing steadily. Atmosphere is getting thinner. Okay. So for those joining the stream, you're looking at a plane that has taken off from the runway of the Kerbal Space Center, using modifications that I've made to its engine configuration and ramjets, jet engines, to basically climb high enough and fast enough, sorry, other way, to move fast enough in the atmosphere to pick up enough engine power to punch our way up. There we go. Atmosphere is gradually getting more wispy. We are now 47 kilometers up and climbing. We are going quite high on the other side. Not bad. So, what I could do is I could have a vehicle simply launch itself off the rocket. So, I mean, we have 1,200 Delta V. That's quite a bit. I mean, it's not a vast amount, but we could certainly send this off to Duna with the next shipment. So we could launch a rocket which will intercept this one, if I can get this in a stable orbit, attach itself to the clamp here, and just push it, like cargo. Push it to Duna. So something relatively small, with, say, nerve engines, for example. So like a tug is what I'm describing, like a tug to push it. Centre of mass, though. Indeed, that's the next question. That should be the centre of mass. It probably isn't now. I could always try and shimmy fuel forward in order to make that the centre of mass to assist in the pushing action. But again, if I'm doing a push, then we'll keep the engines relatively weak for interplanetary transfer. Cool. I marked the site. The return for the lunar base. The lunar base crew, they landed there. Thank you, Bolt Rumour. Thank you very much, Bolt. There we go. The atmosphere is getting getting thinner at 51.5 kilometers. So 70 kilometers, for those not familiar, is the upper limit of Kerbin's atmosphere, at which point it just turns to a hard vacuum. Again, obviously, that's not how our atmosphere works. It just gets gradually thinner and thinner until even all the way up, like where the International Space Station is, there's still the odd few bits of bumping into whatever up there, whatever gases are floating freely. So there's still a little bit of drag. You never have like a point where it's like, no, there's no drag at all. But yeah, for the sake of Kerbal Space Program, it's 70. If you can hit 70, then you don't have to worry about atmosphere anymore. And we're up. So, that, well, I haven't done it yet, but pretty much, I mean, we've got the solar panels. Let me just, well, hold on a second, we're still in the atmosphere. That's a first, everybody. That's the first time, you've just witnessed the first time I've ever taken a Kerbin space plane to orbit from a runway. Never done that before. I've done it on Duna, of course, but it's way easier to do on Duna. Sweet, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so it was the ramjet thing that I didn't understand. So ramjet engines get more efficient the more air you ram into them. Who'd have thought it? So you don't want to burn when the air is thinnest, you want to burn when the air is relatively dense. And you have oxygen, which is why I never did that before, because Duna doesn't have that. Oh, there's a moon. Thank you. I thank you, chat. So yes, again, if you haven't played Kerbal Space Program, I do strongly, strongly recommend. Alright. Thank you, Shoot Me Down Dead, and welcome indeed. Right. So, let's warp to the app over here. So again, the analogy that I continually use, simply because it's the best way to describe it. Imagine you're throwing a tennis ball. And you want that tennis ball to go as far as you can? At what point, if you were to strap a rocket, a tiny rocket to the side of the tennis ball, when would you switch on the rocket to have it go further? You could do it from your hand, of course. Yeah, you'd probably fling it further, but chances are you'll just speed it quickly into the side of the fence in your garden. If you activated the rocket too late, then you'll just cause it to fly straight into the ground faster. You want to initiate your rocket when it's furthest from the ground, when it's as high up as possible, and that way it will fly as far as possible. This is your apoapsis, marked AP here, the point where the tennis ball is furthest from the ground. Initiate the rocket there, and we'll travel far. Sorry, I'm still in the atmosphere. Oh no, okay, we just left the atmosphere. There we go. Alright, lovely. Whee! It does not surprise me, V44. NASA employees who were at high school when they played Kerbal Space Program and inspired them. Yeah, work for NASA. That does not surprise me even slightly. I strongly recommend Kerbal Space Program, just in general, just to give you an idea of how rocketry works. Well, come on, let's go. It's not like day-to-day knowledge, but it's just one of these things where you're like, oh, I get it. There we go. You look at something launching and you're like, oh, I understand what they're doing. Liquid fuel, those are the boosters on the side. That piece just broke off. Ah, yeah, they're ditching empty tanks, so it's staging. Stuff like that. Getting up high where the atmosphere is thin, and then they're doing a sideways burn to fall fast enough around the curvature of the world, so you never hit it. So yeah, this is a persistent problem. I predict this is going to be a continued problem on Duna, isn't it? This climbing. Actually, will it? We'll find out, because then I'll have control surfaces to counteract it. There we go. We've achieved stable orbit, everybody. Let's go a little bit higher just to round it out, just to make it less weird. Alright. So, what we're going to do then is we're going to try and push this over to Duna as a present for Jeb. Jeb is a pilot who is probably sitting on a sofa playing computer games on the Ike space station, which is orbiting Duna. He's also joined by an engineer and a scientist. I can't remember specifically which engineer and which scientist, but they're all hanging out on the space station just chilling and eating snacks. So we'll send this to Jeb and he can size it up. We'll have him fly it down into Duna and he can experiment with it and see if it's worth it, or if I need to make modifications to it to make it work properly in Duna. Yeah, so let's go back to the Space Center and build ourselves a tug capable of pushing this up to Duna. How do you want to do an insertion burn with this nose behavior? Insertion burn? Well, it's going to be pushed to Duna, at which point it will be pushed into the upper part of the atmosphere and then just start descending. If we didn't burn up in the atmosphere there, we're not going to burn up on Duna. Thank you, Snack Bayar. Thank you very much, Snack. Yes, Duna's atmosphere is, so dense enough that you've got to pay attention to it, but it's no Kerbin. Alright. So, let's just give it a proper save. Alright, space plane first. Okay. Now, let's have a look at this alarm clock system that they've added to the game. Apparently it's one of the mods that they made proper. Planetary transfer window from Kerbin to Duna. When's our next opportunity? In 210 days. Okay. So, let's go to the VAB. Where am I? Hang on. Need to go to my notes. Refuel before the tug? We can refuel when we get there. Hang on. Where are my Duna notes? So we can refuel at Ike, Duna's moon. We have a refueler waiting for it. And hell, even if we don't even need to do if the plane can get down to the base safely, we've got a refueler on the surface. There are plenty of opportunities for it to refuel. Okay, so Duna. So 5,000 delta V from low orbit. So to orbit low on Duna without aerobraking. To transfer, Duna should be slightly ahead of Kerbin. Since Kerbin is lower, it catches up to Duna. It costs me about 650 delta V from a prograde leave of Kerbin's gravity at optimal transfer, 1,800 delta V if you fuck it up and go retrograde. Whoops. Aerobrake at 25 kilometers was immediately effective with an inflatable heat shield. Took us right down to landing, uncontrolled. Okay, Duna landing. Heat shields are only needed for aerobrakes. They're pointless on the landing since the atmosphere is so puny. Don't rely on it to bring you down, though. It's so as in don't rely on the parachutes to bring you down. I've written here. As in, yeah, they don't slow me down fast enough to come down safely. The atmosphere is again pathetic. Use way more SAS than I think. That's fine. We've got control surfaces. Note that on aggressive landing, I was moving at around 500 meters per second, so assume that the parachutes are trash. Plan for a good 400 to 500 delta V for a safe landing. That's quite liberal there. That's quite, yeah. Duna planes, learnings. No oxygen, so no intake possible. The Duna Mk4 plane with a Terrier engine on Tier 2 fuel tanks was quite pitiful, barely getting beyond the crater. Launching upwards a little bit like a rocket produced better results when taking off. Duna's Mk4 plane could make it into orbit, but not any sort of meaningful inclination change. Okay, that's a problem I've solved by building a better base location. So not at a stupid polar angle. Okay, so 5,000. Okay, so we've already got 1,000, so 4,000. Okay, no. Plan for... Let's do 5,000. We'll give a rocket tug with about 5,000 delta V, just to be safe. Okay. Right. So, let's design a tug, shall we? It's going to be a probe. We've already got engineers on site. Right. So, it has both junior and regular connectors. So, we'll go with... what should we go with? What's smaller? That's the big chonky one, isn't it? How big is a... So, plan the nose cone first. So there's the... Yeah, so that's the normal. Okay. So we could even go smaller if we wanted to. Hang on. So fuel tank... No, control unit. Probe control unit. Okay. So there's our probe, everyone. This is the actual brains of the operation. And that's going to be the docking port. So this is the thing that's going to push it along. Okay. Trouble is... Delta V calculations with that thing stuck to it. We're going to have to import it from the hangar and quite literally just stick it on the top here to get a proper calculation. Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. So I need to export, open, save, launch. Is it open and then merge? How does it work? Sorry. Oh, save this. 1 minute. Save and continue. Save it to... 1 minute. Duna Tug, MK1. Open. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. The Xerxes and then merge. Here it is. Right, so here's the Xerxes. Whoa. So all I'm trying to do is determine its total weight. So pretend that this is where we're pushing it, right? Oh, does that not count? Piss. How do we... Oh, it doesn't have a free attachment point because I put a grappler arm on it. That's a bit frustrating. Really? I can't... Oh, can I open it from there? Ah, will it fit? Probably doesn't register it as a true attachment point. That's a bit frustrating. I can't pull it apart either. Okay, ooh, that's annoying. Let's go to... Switch editor over to the hangar. Load up the Xerxes. Okay, 1 minute, sorry. Oh, route tool? Oh no, you're right. Yes, there's a reroute tool. You're correct. How does one do that again? Hang on. Open. Shit. Open. Where is it? Fuck, I've lost it. Thank you, CFL Ryan? Thank you very much, Ryan. Thank you for doing that, Ryan. That's very kind. Thank you. Much appreciated, Ryan. And before that, thank you, Exile Swede, and Tom Taxtastic, and Pepper Spray, and Snack Bayar. Snack Bayar? Thank you very much, all of you. Oh, and thank you, Mike. Sorry, am I missing all of these? Thank you very much. Duna, hang on, where are you? Duna. Just trying to find it. Duna tug. Okay, so then open. God, it's struggling. Hang on. Where's Xerxes? 1 minute. Sorry, just taking forever to load. There it is. There's Xerxes. Right. Oh, I'm stupid. I fucked up again. Sorry. No, bear with me. Sorry, I just got the overlay on because my PC's like going blah. Here we go. So Duna, load, then open the Xerxes. Okay. Right, there you are. And then merge, not open. Alright, there we go. So, there it is. So, reroute tool. How does one do that again? So, tool reroute. Select 2 or more parts to reroute. This? Select a part as the new route. How does one do it? Sorry. Select a set of 2 or more parts to reroute. Select a part as the new route. Whoops. Is that correct? Reload the plane as the main part. Okay. But how do I switch back when I'm done? Anyone know? Select port, then passenger part. Select port, then passenger part. So reroute, port, passenger part. Select part to place. Oh, hang on, has that done it? Probably not going to do it properly, is it? Not quite what I had in mind. Can I... hang on. If I open it, does it make a difference? Oops. Uh-oh. Stop it. No. Crap. Ah. Okay, hang on a second. I've got a better idea. I don't know if it's a better idea. Let me just do this my way. Don't save this. Switch over to the other editor. What if I just did this? Just keep it simple. Hang on. What if I just did... so current save the Xerxes, load that. I'm just going to pull off its nose cone entirely. Okay, and then Xerxes for edit, save. Go back to the editor. Okay, there it is. Hang on. So the Xerxes is now in the VAB. Which one's the yeah? Let's just do. Sorry, just keep it simple. I just loaded up the Xerxes with an edit, and now I'm just going to build a tug underneath it. Delete the top part. Sorry, reselect the new route as the rocket, and then just pretend it's the Xerxes MK 4.1. I can always change the name in a bit. So we're not going to push it from the nose. Well, we might push it from the nose. It's in space. It doesn't matter. Oh, it doesn't have boosters. These are gone. What about the shrimps? Those are gone too. So that's what we're pushing. Okay. So that's what we're sending. So, ignoring all of this, how do we... yeah, so just make sure all of that is above. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. We do this. Control point, command and control. Coupling, sorry. Clampatron here. Clampatron here, right? Okay, and then here is where we put our new probe. Don't forget to reattach the landing gear before you start building. The what? Reattach the landing gear? No worries, shoot me down. Well, it's not surprising, Alfredo. I mean, bear in mind, it's quite an old game now. But it's well worth it. It's well worth it. One moment. So, what am I doing? So, sort by size. So, what I want to do I mean, I think I'm being a bit optimistic here, aren't I? Hang on. We need the control point first. So the probe, put that there. So that's well, that's just the head of it, okay? So let's do this. Oh, you mean retract the landing gear? No, never mind. It's fine. You probably joined a. This is not launching up. This is already up in space. It's fine. This is just a pretend this isn't here. This is just a representation of the weight. I'm going to delete it momentarily. So, if I were to just put this here for a second, how much fuel is that? Well, it's not the fuel that I care about, it's the delta V. So, switch over calculations to... well, just vacuum. Vacuuming Kerbin. And then put an engine at the base of it. That, whatever. Okay. So, where is the staging here? This engine, move that all the way down to its own completely separate stage, and then disable the crossfeed here. No fuel. So this tells me that this has 390 delta V. So that can push this a total difference of 390 meters per second. It's so heavy. So what do we need? So how much do you think we need? So 5,000. Where's my calculator? Fuck. Sorry. Remove the fuel from the other tanks because of weight. No, it has fuel. It's waiting with fuel up in space. Suppose not as much fuel. I guess it has burns quite a bit of its fuel. Yeah, let's drop it down to about that. Assuming it's got this amount. Not sure exactly, but probably got something like that, hasn't it? Maybe. Cool. So, yeah. Right, so 5,000, then we minus the initial burn, and then for the slowdown maneuver, how much was it for a Duna slowdown? Can't remember. Shit. Probably assume about 600. Maybe. So 3,200. Assume probably 600, maybe 2,006. Okay, so we need to shunt this thing 2,600 delta V. So that number needs to be probably around 2,600 delta V in a vacuum. So what can we do? And of course the thruster weight as well needs to be favourable, and a dinky little engine like that is not going to do that, is it? So let's think a bit bigger. What should we go with? Let's have a fuel tank. What about that? Start with that. Liquid fuel and oxidizer. I wonder how the nerves would fare, even if I used 3 of them. Big fuel tank there. And then, what would this get me? Wolfhound. A bit too big. Go smaller. Oops. Sort by size. What would this give me? Looking for a vacuum engine. Kodiak? Bobcat? What's a Bobcat? No, I think it's the Cheetah that I want, isn't it? What's more efficient? Vacuum 355 efficiency. Bobcat vacuum 3110. So it is the Cheetah. But what sort of thruster weight? Wait, move the Cheetah down to its own independent staging. Over here. Thank you. Oh, really? Pitiful. Only 200. Okay. Right, still Kerbin vacuum calculations. Gotta go bigger. Right. Whoops. What? Oh. Really? That's rubbish. Okay. Thrust away, it's terrible as well. Is this doing it correctly? Just switch over off Kerbin entirely over to Duna vacuum. I guess so. Okay. Well, yeah, okay, looking at it, it is a massive craft. Even if it is in the vacuum. So, let's go bigger. Let's think bigger, 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 bigger. Much, much bigger. Yep. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Right. So, oh, that's engine, sorry. Even bigger. Rockamax. Okay, so engine, big old engine. Skiff? No. Bobcat maybe? Wolfhound. Oh, I've changed the fairing on it, now it looks weird. There we go, put that back. So, what about a Wolfhound? Let's have a look. Move that engine down there to its own independent staging. We're getting a bit closer. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much, Chris. Right. You don't need wings in space, or... It's fine, Irish. It's fine. I know what I'm doing. It's going to Duna. It does need the wings, and it does need the parachute. It's not going to space. It's traveling through space. It's fine. Okay. So, 770. Yeah. I mean, this is a lot lower than I thought. I figured it would push it further than that. We gotta go much bigger? I guess so. What about the nerves? I mean, I never really use them. They're kind of piss poor. Never really use these anymore. Where are they? Can I get a... Give me a plate. Where's an engine plate? Is that the right size? Pardon me, sorry. Switch over engine plate to medium long with triple quad. Give me quad. Quad nerves. So these are... Whoops, sorry. These are... Where are they? Here. So these are the nerve atomic the nerve atomic engines. 4 of them. What sort of thruster weight are we talking about with nerve engines these days? Take out the oxidizer because it doesn't use it. So, 0.63, still 700. Oh, fuck. Fuck it. Ignore the nerves. Right, never mind. Fuck it. Ignore that plan. Give me the Wolfhound. Right. Oxidizer back. Okay. Right. Think bigger. Think bigger, I think is what we've got to do here. Oops, sorry. I keep bashing the microphone. Let's go bigger, 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 bigger. What am I looking for? Does that go straight up to that? It does, doesn't it? Is there a girthier one? It's fine. Okay. Think bigger. What am I after? Where's the adapter that goes up to that size? Is it... oh no, it's a bit too... Well, no, actually no. Yeah, keep that in mind. It's probably the size we want to go up to, really. In a minute. Oh, is that it? Might be. No, that looks like it's more like for a shuttle, isn't it? I'm looking for the rocket piece. Is it? Nope. Sort by size. Ah, that must be it. Oh, okay. Right, so and bigger. Kerbal Rhino. That's okay. That's bigger. Right, what are we talking about here? All right, that's more like it. I'm thinking. So 1,300. Yeah. Okay. So that's the front part of the tug. That's not all of it, mind. We've got to put some, even more parts of the tug below. What if we went with radial pieces? Yeah, hang on. Let's add some radial pieces. What sort of bit tanks can we have radially? These. Many of them. Many. Stand by. So, structural. I'm trying to not to make them rocket too long, and then we're going to have some wobble, you see. That's the problem. When you're building a tug, and you're building something that's going to have an odd center of mass anyway. Okay. And we're going to have to tone that down. Tone it all the way down, like, whoa, all the way down there. Otherwise it will wobble. Okay. Leave that there. Leave it up for now. I can tone it down later. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So... Is it going to have enough sass? The answer is no. Give it another control wheel. Spinning, generating torque, which generates sass. Stabilization. Okay. So, structural, robotics, coupling. Let's give it some of these, shall we? Let's give it a whole bunch of these. Additional fuel, which it will jettison when empty. There we go. So what sort of pushing power are we talking about there? Do I still need to put the do I still need to put fuel lines? Is that a thing you need to do in the game? Underneath it, maybe? Okay. Oh, thank you, Blecker Rog. Thank you very much, Blecker. Thank you for doing that. And before that, Gwyn Brickgy, Minnie Fitz, Chris, Edomil, and Dawabbit. And Timmy. Holy shit, thank you all of you. Welcome. Thank you, folks. Okay, so initiating this engine, and then when that is done, where are they? They are there. One moment, move that down there. So once those are empty, jettison them. So that is still not enough. Calculator. 536. It's close. I mean, assume we need 2,200. That's 1,843. That's not bad. It's really not bad, but it's not enough. We can always drain fuel from the... we can, can't we? We can drain fuel from the jet. That would necessitate a definite refuel mission. Why do that? Why drain fuel from the jet? Why not just bring our own fuel? Oh, it's going to be expensive. Very expensive. But why not drain fuel from the jet? It's up there waiting for us. Well, I don't know how much fuel. Shouldn't be hard to figure out though, surely. I mean, if this tank contains 3,200, 3,900... Oh, well, there should be plenty of fuel on the jet. Draining fuel from the jet will cause complications later. Yeah, but relatively easily solved complications owing to the fact that we've got fuel on site. And it can be easily refined from Ike or Duna. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, assume that there's enough fuel on the jet to cover the difference. We'll make sure... Sorry, before we do the burn, we will make sure. We're going to transfer all the refuel over to the tug. Well, yeah. You're still confused why I chose to go with the tug instead of fixing the thrust vector on the plane so I can do it on its own. I don't think doing that will give it sufficient... would it give it 3,200 delta V after its arrival in space, Sipsaf? That's quite a bit of delta V for rapiers? For badly gimbaled rapiers as well. That gimbal was awful. I mean, you know... Maybe not, but just refueling it is simpler than tugging. Yeah, I suppose. Possibly. But tugging is more fun. Alright. Okay. Whoops. A bit too big. There we go. Okay. Right, so... Oops, are they even attached properly? They look off lopsided. Oops. Alright, so... That's our tug, everyone. This thing is going to find its way to the plane, attach, lock on. If it's going to attach, though, we are definitely going to need RCS for the docking maneuver. Don't forget RCS. So... Let's give it some... does it have to be an inline RCS unit? Ooh, is there a cone-shaped RCS unit? No, I don't think so. There's quite a bit of RCS. No. Let's do... Let's do radially mounted RCS, and then we can just jettison it when it's done its job and the docking maneuver is complete. So let's get some. What tanks are we attaching? Where are they? Radial. Monopropellant. Monopropellant. Here we are. Don't need that many. 3. Okay. Coupling. The smallest decouplers we can. 3 of them. Oh no, wait. Can they be mounted on there? Maybe, actually. I don't know. Oh, they're going to detach properly. Is this a stupid idea? This feels like a stupid idea. No, this is stupid. This is dumb. Put them there, and then put a... where is it? So make sure it has a drain valve. Can a drain valve drain monopropellant when it's done? Drain mode. No, it can't. Oh, strange. How peculiar. Right. We'll just keep it. Fuck it. We'll just transfer the monopropellant over to the... That's just extra weight that we don't need to push. Fuck it, it's fine. Right, so... And, yes, so it's got the navigation tool. It's going to need a way to generate its own power. So let's give it some solar panels. Just small solar panels, nothing fancy. It's not doing anything fancy. Where are they? Here they are. Make sure they're mounted up here and they don't get jettisoned with a stage. Whoops. Careful. Piss ass. Because I'm mousing over the... the rockets down there. Okay, so it's got... Well, the probe has its own battery, but it's not going to be very large. Give it just a collection of smaller batteries here. Okay. Don't forget the control unit. Control unit? It's got itself a probe unit. Is that what you meant? It will need some sort of communications array. Mount one there. 10 out of 10 will fail? Probably. Right. Couple of communication units, just in case. Alright. So... Actually, thinking about it, does it need an even stronger communication unit in the case that it's... No, it should be fine. There's comsats between Duna and Kerbin. It'll be fine. Alright. Did I put on the RCS thrusters? No, I did not. Thank you very much. Good shout. Forgot those? Which one's the stronger one? These one? Yeah, those are the ones. Right? What are these? Those are the tiny ones. Okay, so center of mass. So I think I can safely ditch that now. So let's save. Okay, here I go. Wait. 3,000. Where is it? Fuck, I deleted it. Hang on. So 532 plus... Assume 1832 dV 222 difference in shuttle. Okay, meaning... Right. 5,000 minus 2200. Yep, okay. So the rest get 2,000-ish delta V for the climb. Here we go. So, detaching. I'll have to reroute it, I presume. Should I do that now? Reroute. Select a set of 2 or more parts to reroute. I've already saved it, so if I cock it up, it's okay. So here we go. Deleting the shuttle. Right. Then, reroute. Shit. Piss. It's locked the camera, hasn't it? Should I have done it before? Let's undo it. There we go. Right. So I need to make this the new control point for the vessel. Reroute before the delete. Okay. So how does this work? Select the part. A part as the new route. Oh, does it need to be attached? Reroute. Ah, there we go. And then can I safely delete it? Hey, thank you very much. There we go. Right, sweet. Remove. Remove. There we go. Here is our payload. This is what we need to send up into orbit. All right. So, RCS good, control good, communication. Oh no, wait, no. No, I need to properly fix the RCS. So, where's the center of mass? Now that I've removed it, there it is. It's down there. This might be a bit awkward actually. How are we going to do this? Oh dear. Shit. Squeezed in there, some RCS hidden. Put it down there. So what happens as it burns? It goes up, away from the RCS. That's not convenient. Yeah, just shimmy it up. Should be fine. There we go. Oh, just the one? I need 4. Okay, put them down there then. Hang on. Little fairing over the docking port. Indeed, that's a good idea. In fact, we could probably just do a nose cone, couldn't we? And then just detach it when it's done. You alright, Lulu? How you doing, darling? But fairings do look cooler. Where's the slightly bigger one? How much does it weigh? Oh, next to nothing. There we go. Whoops, cancel that for now. Cool. There's our probe unit. Covering, yep. Sweet, and then... boop. Okay. And give it... there we go. Make it a clamshell deployment. I do love clamshells. Ooh, can I even change the sides of the clamshell? Ooh, cool. Ah, I didn't know that. Oh, that's stylish. Holy shit. Oh, that's going to look amazing. Cool. All right. Okay, so here is our tug, everyone. Right. So, main rockets, break away. Yeah, clamshell deployment. Give it a save. Okay, so let's lift it up and then start thinking about getting this thing up into space and into orbit. Lovely. Yeah, so if you're just joining the stream, I'm just chilling out doing a bit of Kerbal. Please know that today I'm working on Rising Storm Vietnam bullshit. What the hell? What? Oh. Rising Storm Vietnam bullshittery, part 3. So far so good. I'm really just collecting the clips. I've got a whole bunch of live streams and I'm just going through them, finding what I need really and discarding what I don't. Everything's fine. There we go. Big old Kerbal S4. How old are the clips? So they're collected between 2019 to 2021. I don't think we've played any games this year yet. Thank you, Zuppy. Thank you very much, Zuppy. Most of the older clips from 2018 have already been used in parts 1 and 2. Bavin says, all of the parts with me in them are solid gold, keep them in. Of course, of course. Hope you're well. ZF Bavin's in the chat. Okay. Get ourselves a huge engine. Even a twin bore is dwarfed. Jesus, what sort of engine are we putting on there? Okay. Rhino. Why does he not have an editor? Many, many reasons. But do not go down that rabbit hole too deeply. I feel that it would dramatically change the nature of the edits themselves. It's a strange career, isn't it, YouTubing? Where you reach a certain size and for some reason the encouragement is to stop being a YouTuber and to instead be like a producer, not, someone who's been editing the content. Most YouTubers don't have their editors, they don't have the resources for it. It's a one-man show for most of them, where if you're scrappy enough, if you're, I suppose, making a certain edge in whatever it is you're trying to do as a YouTuber, you can hopefully get some subscribers. So it's strange That the idea is that once you reach a certain size, it's like, you should get a team. It's like, what? My point is, I think the word YouTuber starts to break down when it's multiple people. You start to abandon the very thing that sort of made it special in the first place. The fact that it's a one-man show, one-woman show. Okay. Indeed they do, Shamrock. And personally, not wishing to throw shade, but I feel that's a major mistake. You lose a lot of the main thing that makes YouTubers, as the content in general, so enthralling. The fact that it feels authentic. I know that a lot of that is manufactured fakeness, but for the most part, if you're watching a YouTuber, it feels like it's made by a person, not by a marketing team. Depends on the type of content. Indeed it does, but especially older content in particular, older YouTube content. Feels like you're dealing with a person, and the person is doing it because they have a passion, not because they're chasing a payday. Sorry, what am I doing? I'm getting distracted by waffling about YouTube. So, ignore that. Ignore all of that. 2000... Okay, straight off the bat, this engine is more than capable... Oh, no, wait, sorry. Looking at the wrong calculations, aren't I? We need to go down to sea level of Kerbal. Right, 1,400. Okay, so let's give some boosters, and then we should have a plenty. There we go. This might be going a bit too far, though, actually. Kickbacks, maybe? There you go, kickbacks. Put some struts on there. So that's 400. Engine as well at the same time. 600. Is it enough? It's better than a Thumpers, no. Polluxes, maybe? A bit thicker. Check the thruster weight on that, make sure they're strong enough. Get some aerodynamic nose cones. Where are they? Sorry. Sort by size. That's small. That's big. There we go. Too big. There we go. There we go. Right. Right. Indeed. Maybe, Harp. Maybe. Again, it really does depend on the type of content that you're making. In my very particular case, as I keep saying, I think that comedy in particular is extremely vulnerable to changes in team configuration. You're looking at something through the lens of someone's sense of humor. I mean, you can immediately spot it. The moment that you look at an edit that's been, even of my content, that's been edited by someone else, you can spot it like that, can't you? That it's not quite right. Someone else's sense of humor can drastically differ, and if you add more people, then you add more lenses that the content is being filtered through. You probably noticed my sense of humor is very dark. It just is. I find certain things very funny. So you get more people, that's probably going to get smoothed out quite a lot. Probably would still work. You could probably make it work, but I fear trying to fix something that doesn't feel broken and just breaking it horrendously. Because I'm also someone who thinks that, well, if you do it well, if you make a product well, then the audience will come back and view it. You don't need to make content now, faster. The audience will watch it if it's in their feed later. You don't need to quickly chase, go, sooner, more content. It's fine, just do it right and the audience will still be there afterwards. They're not going anywhere. It's the internet. Which I suppose isn't the... Yeah, if you're running adverts, then you get that... I'm not running any adverts. Who cares? Indeed, as Blue Helmet says. Yeah, exactly that. I'm looking to make people laugh as much as I can, not sell shit made in China and shipped over. Right, sorry, I'm waffling again. Right, so... Initiate the engine in its first stage. Move the scaffold down there. Thank you, Tinstar. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tinstar. Okay, boosters next. There we go. Oh, no, I shouldn't have done that. That was silly. Sorry, bear with me just one moment. Move the boosters to their own independent stage. Thruster weight is just shy of 0. Okay, it can lift it, but the engines will be needed to make the difference. Okay, so scaffold, boosters, engine. How are we doing? Engine? Yep, thruster weight 1.7. Okay. Move it all down there. Then these break off. Thank you, Clem. Thank you very much, Clem. Thank you sincerely, Clem. Yeah, okay, this should be fine. This should do it. Hopefully I'll have control on the ascent, what with this hugely gimbaled Rhino engine. Yeah. I know, Harry Gatto, I know. I should just be quiet. Anyway, right, I think we're good to go. So let's get this thing launched and see what happens, shall we? Struts, yes. Staging, what's that? Yes. Separatrons are on. I think we're good. How much? 145,000. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Okay, so take it out to the launch pad. Alright, so do I earn more from YouTube or Twitch? I don't earn anything from YouTube, Huber. It's all either Twitch subscribers or patrons. And you've all been very kind to me. Thank you. I don't run adverts at all, or sponsorship, so not a penny from the YouTube side of things. Probably wouldn't be allowed to anyway. It's probably only a matter of time before YouTube as a platform decide that the word fuck or cunt is verboten, and the whole channel gets shut down anyway, so chances of monetization are probably highly unlikely, as is. But yeah. But the real reason is I hate adverts. I find them disgusting. Right. Thank you, Saber. Thank you very much, Saber. Alright. Cool. I think we're good to go. So for those just joining, you're looking at a rocket that's going to go up into space to meet a shuttle and hopefully give it a push, give it a shunt over to Duna. Although it's going to be up there for a few days once it's launched because the transfer window is not currently optimal. Right. So, initiating. Full engine, full fuel. I think we're ready to go. Quick save, although I shouldn't quick load it because then I can't revert. Here we go. Good luck. Ooh, a slow climb. Should be okay, though. What happened to the airplane I'm working on? It worked. It flew, and then it flew really high, and now it won't come down. So this is basically the adult equivalent of flinging other things to try and get your frisbee that's stuck in the tree in your garden. That's what we're doing. We're sending up more things to try and hit the frisbee. Alright. Welcome then, Tibetan Sherpa. Welcome. Thank you, Seblaw, as well, and Marco, and Saber. Yes, so we're throwing up a rake to try and hit the frisbee to get it back down to play with it. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Bit of a slower climb than I was hoping. We're going to lose the boosters soon. Right, we should begin this turn. Let's start going, let's start going. Okay, thank you, boosters. Much appreciated, guys. Still got control. Hopefully it doesn't become too top-heavy. We're slowing down. Should be okay, though. Just keep going. Atmosphere is getting thinner. Come on, got to continue this turn if we're going to go anywhere. Switch over to orbital. Okay. Maybe this engine wasn't... Maybe I did need tougher boosters. Did I turn down the thrust? No, I didn't. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Yeah, maybe we should restart again. So we're at so our apoapsis is 40 kilometers, which is fine if we're here, but we're a bit further. So we're turning. That's our prograde direction of travel. So as you can see, it's moving quite rapidly to the horizon, and we're only 38 seconds from the app. Oh, it might be all right. But we need to increase speed by another 1,500 meters per second, which as we leave the atmosphere will get easier and easier and start turning the rocket prograde. Sorry, 90 degrees. It might be alright, maybe, we'll see. So here we go, as we start to turn the rocket towards the horizon, we're going to really pick up some speed out of the atmosphere now. But what I fear is that we haven't reached 70 kilometers on the on our apoapsis. Are we pushing the app? No, we're riding the app. Not good. It is a very heavy thing we're launching. Shit ton of fuel. Okay. Still not quite out of the atmosphere. Probably not, Illusionist. Do you mean Total War? No, forgive me, I've kind of fallen out of favour with the Total War series. It moved in a direction that I thought was kind of lame. Right. Alright. Yeah, let's go back and add bigger boosters, shall we? I think, yeah, we're just shy, I'm afraid. And we're, yeah, bigger boosters, more speed, more oomph at the beginning. So let's, yeah. So revert flight back to the vehicle assembly. So it's I could have spotted that earlier, to be honest. The thruster weight wasn't great on both the engine and the boosters. I mean, the boosters themselves can't even lift the whole craft solo, which is a bit of a warning sign. Okay. Right. I don't like Warhammer? I thought I did. Now I'm not so sure. Right. So what were they? Were they kickback? Yeah, no, they were... What are they called? Thoroughbreds. We'll go for thoroughbreds. Are they the bigger ones? Yeah, they are, right? Thicker. Right. Right, so that gives me a thruster weight just on the boosters of 1.19. Better. Why do 4 when we can have... Whoa, is that 6? Oh god, it's expensive. Oh god. Okay, turn that down. Thruster weight down to 2. Can the engines even maintain control over all that power? Okay. Thruster weight, where is it? Up a bit more. Okay. Up a bit more. Let's try that. Let's give it a go. Fuck it. Feels a bit extreme though. Is this sandbox? No, it's Korea. So expensive. Owie, owie, owie. Alright. And this, yeah, it's only really sending a space plane as a possible replacement, an experimental space plane over to Duna. So it's not even going to get a payday for us. Okay. Yeah. Nah. Yeah. Right. Do not strut the boosters down, it will make launch attempts boring. No. Gotta strut the boosters down, otherwise they'll rattle horrendously. There we go. Cool. Are those small things thrusters? Sort of. They're boosters themselves, called separatrons. When activated, they will launch these huge empty canisters away from the vessel. You don't have to do that every time. If your boosters are small enough, you can just spin. Just do a little spin and they'll be flung free. But these ones are quite chonky, so they probably do need a bit of a kick out the door, as it were. Hence the Separatrons. Okay. Oops, these Separatrons are on the initial boost. There we go. Let's try that then. So let's save 180,000. Ooh, dearie me, dearie me, dearie me. Okay. So yeah, I made a mistake, I'm sure. Can you place parachutes on the detachable boosters to recover them? You know what, I thought you could, Crude Rabbit, but I don't know anymore. When you move a certain distance away from the debris, it becomes a different object that's no longer tracked by the physics directly, so I don't know. Someone would have to sort of do a few experiments to see if the parts are recovered. Maybe, though. Maybe. Maybe someone in the chat has already done those. Okay. Oops, yes, you're right. Separatrons are on the first stage as well. Good shout. Thank you. Sweet. Sorted. I think we're ready to go. Right. Full thrust. We're ready. And, whoopsie. Let's go. Another bit of a slow climb. Yeah, a bit faster than before, though. All right. All right. But yeah, again, not really much happening this week. Just cracking on with the editing. Yesterday's Kerbal evening stream though was really fun. Did not expect those discoveries at Jewel. Very cool indeed. For those that didn't see it, I went to the moons of Jupiter, Jewel, and discovered, to my delight, that one of them actually has an atmosphere and possibly liquid water on its surface. Something I was not aware of. It was my first journey to the moons of Jewel. Fascinating stuff. I can't wait for a return. Alright, here we go. Yep, doing much better now. Much faster, much more oomph. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Lovely jubbly. Okay. We're going to give ourselves... Oh, cool. Almost done it. Perfect. Lovely. Cut that engine for a second. We will give ourselves just a little spin. Whoops. That wasn't much of a spin. Okay. Because I switched off the engine, that's why. So it started turning that way. Cool. Sweet. Kill engine. Oh, nope, that's full engine. Kill engine. Point prograde, please. Oh, yeah, the SAS can't control it, so I have to keep the engine on a little bit. So a spinning torque wheel doesn't generate enough torque to counteract the weight of this thing as it moves through the upper atmosphere. So I have to leave the engine on a little bit to provide some propellant. So I'm wasting propellant right now. It's a bit of a shame. So let's start turning sideways immediately. It will increase the drag, but it shouldn't matter too much. We're already at 60k. Okay. Lovely, 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 lovely. So, also it's 1 o'clock, so I'm supposed to get on with editing. I'll do that like shortly. Okay, kill there. Okay. The fairing? Yes, we will jettison the fairing soon. Hi there, Michaelanius. ZF Michaelanius is in the chat. I hope you're very well, sir. And thank you, Spec Ops and Icorb and Seblaw. Thank you. Right, let's start this burn then. I can't guarantee I'm going to be able to push my app. In fact, I'm probably just going to ride the app. Yeah. And for no, we're losing the app. Okay, so 25 seconds till we hit it. So full burn, full burn, full burn. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Pick up speed, pick up speed. So the target is 2,200 meters per second. We're traveling at 780. Unfortunately, we're now 8 seconds, 7 seconds from the highest point of orbit, at which point we will begin a descent. But we do have 10 kilometers extra, so we're at 80 kilometers instead of 70. Might make it, we'll see. So, almost approaching 1,000 meters per second. And now we're falling back towards the atmosphere. Come on, come on, come on, come on. We might do an atmospheric, we might do a skip. Basically just bounce off the atmosphere. A little bit. Full speed, full speed, full speed. Okay, 5k from the atmosphere. It's approaching fast. Drat. Okay, we're about to hit the atmosphere, and atmospheric drag is going to start to affect us. Oh, really, Harp? Yeah, this engine is way weaker than I thought it was going to be. So it's not that it's a weak engine, it's just pushing so much, pushing so much. I don't think we're going to make it. We're already at 60k. Atmospheric heating is about to occur. Could up the strength of the boosters. I needed to turn more. Well, most of my thrust is currently in the boost stage, isn't it? Maybe I needed to do a turn way sooner. Oh, hang on. Almost got it. Almost got it. We're going to have one skip, though. Can we survive one skip? Not right now, no. Come on. No, I think it's doomed. Not at 44. Not at 44 kilometers. Nah, screwed. Shit. It's going in for a burn up, and we've already lost. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So revert flight back to the launch. So I'm going to try a more aggressive turn there. Get most of that booster thrust over into our eastbound direction. All right. Hi there, Pyros. Sorry, the OS of Pyros? Welcome indeed. Yeah, this is a bit different from the... Whoops. From much of the YouTube content, I'm afraid. Probably not as interesting to most. Okay, initiating. Oh. Whoops. It's a little mistake there. The Separatrons were still in the wrong staging. Right. Cool. Right, so let's try and get more of this booster thrust eastbound, shall we? So, where is that? There we go. Cool. And then... initiate. Up we go. So, start a more aggressive turn earlier. So, looking at my apoapsis down there. Keeping a close eye on it, monitoring the solid fuel. See how we do this time. Okay. Yeah, you too, Darrenik. Yeah, I'm good. Everything's fine. Just on with work this week, really. Just on with editing. Okay, more aggressive turn. Here we go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Atmosphere is quite dense though, so we're getting quite a bit of drag. But come on, more aggressive, more aggressive. Put these boosters to work. Keep on going, come on. More aggressive, more aggressive. Keep on going. Okay, jettison. Thank you, boys. And don't stop burning. Keep burning the whole way. Okay, so now we're up to 1,000 instead of, was it 500 before? Okay, go, 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 go. Full burn, let's go. Cut, 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 cut. No, wait, I'm going to lose control. Ah, that's the problem, isn't it? We can do a flip. There's time. Keep on going. Right. Let's go. Okay. Style is important, obviously. Style points. So we're burning about 30 seconds sooner than we did last time. Yeah. Really not much news at the minute. Anything interesting going on for anyone else this week? I've got lots of RCS fuel. Use it. It's funny. Okay. Hi there, Messi. You see that I'm flying around yet another penis. I know. Okay, 15 seconds from the apoapsis. We're faster this time. Although we're not as high, so we've got less room, less wiggle room here. Yeah, I'm good. Lulu's good. We're all good. It's a very normal day today, really. Just on with the routine. Working on a bullshittery. Yeah. Oh shit, Merbles. Hope you're okay. Waiting on a hospital appointment. Shit, all the best. You want to see Lulu? I'd put her on camera, but the camera appears to be malfunctioning weirdly. Not sure what's going on there. Okay, we'll turn up just a little bit. No, keep it facing all the way. Come on, we're about to skip. Do another small atmospheric skip. Hopefully it's only small. Keep on going, keep on going. Yeah, cutting it very fine, yeah. Okay, we've just re-entered the atmosphere. Circularize this orbit. Come on. 3, 2, 1. There we go. We've got air. Push it up to 70. Push it up. Cut. Yeah, 59 is fine. There we go. So we're 2 minutes from the periapsis, but that periapsis is only 59.8 kilometers, so wispy enough that it shouldn't be a problem. So we're just going to do one small atmospheric skip, and then we will intercept our target. All right. Thank you, Damp. But yeah, everyone sounds like this where I'm from. It's a very normal accent. I will open the nose cone just before docking, again for style points. So here we go. So we're just a bit too low, so we're just skimming across the upper atmosphere right about now. Speed up the time. So 2 minutes as we skim. Keep ourselves pointing prograde. Minimize our drag. So there is some drag, so note the apoapsis number, 160 kilometers going down, but even with a little bit of drag, it's fine. What's the payload? Well, we haven't found the payload yet. You'll see the payload soon. We're retrieving the payload. What's that down there? Not sure. Piece of debris. It's 7. Yes, all the way on the ground. Something in the ocean. Discarded booster or something, maybe. Okay. Okay, so we've just passed the periapsis and we're now climbing back up again. So we'll just keep climbing up to the apoapsis, which is in 15 minutes of orbit. Okay. So just go over here. And then just circularize the orbit and go for our intercept. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Warp here. Okay. It does look a little bit like a intercontinental ballistic missile, doesn't it? The nose cone splitting off into like 7 different nuclear warheads to all plot their own independent courses down. Boom, boom, boom. No, it looks like a penis. Oh, okay. Thank you, Lasky. Thank you very much, Lasky. Okay. Let's warp straight there. Warping already in progress. Just going to... No, can't override it. There we go. It's fine. So... probe going in the wrong direction. Hello. Low orbit. There it is. The Xerxes MK 1.4. Right. Turn to face prograde. Okay, and then just a slight teeny weeny boost. Oh god. Could I next try a rocket that drags the payload instead of pushing it? Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, if you build radially mounted rockets, that's totally possible. But yeah. Okay. So, all I'm doing is I'm just going to do a tiny speed boost. So, point forward. How far until... Oh, we just passed it. Yeah, just do it now. Here we go. A little puff. Puff, 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 puff. There we go. We now have a stable orbit. Right, so let's go and find our target, shall we? I'll have to change engines to do it. Let's target the Xerxes. Okay, how is our orbit relative to them? Some slight differences, but not a huge amount. We're going a bit higher than they are. So they are... hang on. Kerbal periapsis. So 111 and 115 kilometers. Okay, so we're dipping quite lower than them. So what would be the best way to intercept them? We could bring... Leave our apoapsis as is, but bring our peri up. Hang on. A little bit there. Bring the peri up roughly to where they are. Stop. Okay, then hopefully there'll be good intercept. So, just be patient. So double click on this, and then just wait. Okay, so note the little coloured arrows there, the orange and the purple, showing the relative positions of the craft versus us with each rotation. So there's the Xerxes. Wait, sorry. That's not the Xerxes. Wait, what? Xerxes. Oh, of course. No, we're called the Xerxes. Of course. This thing is the Xerxes. Yeah, we're both Xerxes. It's Xerxes all the way down. So we're there, the edit, and there's Xerxes the plane. So as we orbit around, we're just waiting for the point where, again, the now getting a bit tired, the analogy that I keep using. 2 runners on a track, one on the inner track, one on the outer track. Even if one runner leaves sooner, eventually the inner runner will catch up. They simply have not as much ground to cover. That's what's happening. So we're on the outer track, they're on the inner track. And all that we have to do is just keep jogging around the track, and eventually we can fist bump. That's all we're doing. Okay. So we're just waiting for the moment where they run up alongside us. Here we go. So they're getting closer. There we go. There's an intersect there with the difference of 111 kilometers. There's an intersect there, 130 kilometers. We're getting... Really? 130? That looks further away to my eyes. Oh, okay. Apparently it's closer. What? Alright. So maybe I should do a slight adjustment. Come down a bit lower. We'll just be even more patient. It's fine. We can wait. It's only taking a few days. Just come around again. Could do a burn, or I could just wait until we come around again. Da 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 da. Okay. Come on, arrows. There we go. Getting close. Oh, almost. So looking at the 2 orange arrows and the 2 purple arrows, they correlate. So which one is which? Orange is the first intersect. What's that? That's an intersect 2 at 45 kilometers. 45's okay, but it'd be nicer to get closer. Ah, hello. What is that? 64 kilometers. Okay, so let's do a maneuver. So target position here and here, and then add a maneuver to try and get closer on the other side. Select the maneuvering node. What's that? Intersect 2. Wait for us to pass... Where are we? Wait for us to pass intersect 2. No. We need to do it now, don't we? Okay, hang on. So, maneuvering node selected. Yep. So what happens if I reduce my speed? If I reduce my speed, then the next intersect will be even closer, I hope. There we go. Can I just right-click on it to see the values? 10 kilometers distant. 11. 10, 10. Okay, do a slight sideways. Whoops. Intersect 1. 10 is fine. Leave it. Okay, so a 35 delta V burn. Point towards the maneuver. Okay. So we're just, what are we doing? We are reducing our speed. So we're turning to face retrograde. Wait, is that correct? How long? 14 minutes. Ouch. Thank you, Finger my bum. Thank you very much, Finger. Thank you. Alrighty then. I was going through the Rising Storm Vietnam clips and I found myself, made me chuckle. I was referring to the fact that someone had made an online account using my email address, which I thought, okay, whatever. So I filled in the, what is it, like, retrieve your password thing. And it was someone in Arizona had made this account, and for some reason their first name and last name was Arseater74. I was like, okay. Well, they know what they like. Here we go. Okay, sweet. There we go. So we just slow down a little bit, and our next intersect will be 10 kilometers distant. Nice and close. Close enough. So let's just wait, basically. So warp straight there. So we are now approaching each other on the track, and will be a mere 15 kilometers away, which is nothing when it comes to space travel. Sweet. Now, if I... Oh, good. So my nav ball has switched over to target information. So if I point retrograde... So, there is... How far from this are we from it? Any moment, 9 seconds. So there is a difference. So this is not now our total speed around the planet. This is the difference in speed between us and our target, who we can probably see if I turn my camera. Where are they? They're somewhere. What? They're meant to be here. Did I definitely target them? Target the... That should work. Anyway, so the point is, if I now do a burn to reduce my speed relative to the target, we can now move at the exact same pace in space. Like so. Cool. There we go. Trade engines now. Point to face the new maneuver. Whoops. Sorry. Okay, now where is our target? Whoops. Whoa! That was stupid. Ah, there they are. Hello. So now that our relative speeds are very close to each other, all I have to do is just fly towards them. Like so. Just cross the distance. Okay, just be a little bit careful though, don't go super fast. And I'm just going to switch on my RCS. And then just try to maneuver that prograde marker over him to compensate for that accidental speed boost that I just did. So again, as I continually mention whenever I do this maneuver, yeah, this is pretty much exactly what they do when they resupply the International Space Station. The International Space Station is higher up. They launch underneath it slightly, and then they just wait until the orbits intersect, match speeds, and then just fly towards them. And then the International Space Station has a robot arm, which grabs the target. So the two objects are moving at extremely close speed. They don't like do something crazy. They don't like, oh, I don't know, like a Hollywood film might show in that, what was it called? What's that one with, oh fuck. What's it called? You know the one where they like get like like an alien organism and it starts going crazy, killing them on a space station? Not Gravity. What's it called again? Life, that's the one. Yeah. For some reason they've got them like trying to use a robot arm at the beginning of the film to catch a fast-moving probe that came from Mars. It's like it's super dangerous because if you fuck it up, it will basically destroy the station. It's moving at ridiculous speed. You don't do that. You would just speed up the whole station. Granted, yeah, if you have the fuel to do it, it wouldn't be very efficient if you're moving the whole station. But ideally, you'd just have the probe slow down to match. Okay, here we go. Turning away from the target. In fact, give me manual control for this. So note the yellow marker with the cross through it, my retrograde motion. So the opposite of my direction of travel. So turn retrograde and start a steady burn to slow down. Give me manual control for this. Here we go. Not by too much, just by, in fact, just try to massage the retrograde marker over the purple marker, which is that of the target. Come down just a smidge. We still need to travel 2 kilometers. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sorry, fuck, I missed it. The chat went too quickly there. Thank you, Mr. Nuclear. Thank you. Welcome indeed. Hope you're having a nice day today. Quick save? Yeah, not a bad plan. Alright, so if you look to your top left there, you will see a plane. For some reason, it's stuck up in space. Someone must have been playing with their toy plane and accidentally flung it too high. Weird. Here we go. Now we need to slow down quite dramatically. Otherwise we're going to have an itty-bitty accident. There we go. No, careful, careful, careful. There we go. Just creep on in. So, we turn to... Okay, turn to face the target. Here we go. Pressing the bracket key, I can switch to the plane. Now, let's go with this docking port. So open the shield. Okay, and then control from here. Now, the nav ball thinks that this is the front. So, I'm just going to... There it is. So I'm just going to bring it manually around here. Wasn't the probe unable to slow down due to malfunction, hence the catching scene? Yeah, but can they... I mean, wouldn't it be much safer to just increase speed on the station? As inefficient as that would be, surely they know months in advance that the probe has malfunctioned and cannot operate its engines. They wouldn't ask the station to stand in the way of a missile moving at stupid speed and just hope that not Chris Pratt, who's the actor that plays him, can catch it manually. It's not even calculated. He's trying to manually catch it. Ryan Reynolds, sorry. Hang on, did I set it as the target? Yeah, just hope that they can manually catch it. And if they miss, if he misses, and it hits the station, what do you think it'll do? I mean, hell, you know, the more likely scenario, if neither is possible, they would probably just build and launch a much smaller rocket to chase it and grab it. Okay, here we go. Ooh. That's cool. Come on. God damn, the RCS is not tough enough for this, is it? Alright, hang on. Right, nice and steady now. Wow, this RCS is really not quite capable of slowing this thing down or moving it to any appreciable... Hang on. Just trying to slow her down. Come on. Come on, slow her down. Fuck it, hang on. Right. Hi there, Tenorin. Welcome indeed. Alas, I won't be around for too much longer because I've got to go get on with editing in a minute. I'm just trying to do a space docking thingy. What's it, doodad? Come on. Bring the vessel round. Alright. Oh yeah, good shout. Monopropellant is going down quite quickly. Be a shame to do this with the liquid fuel. Well, I'll have the plane dock instead. Okay. Whoops. Ah, wrong button. There we go. Up, 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 up. Come on, up. Oh, this is annoying. Other way, other way, other way. Come on, pull it round, pull it round, pull it round. It's frustrating. Hang on. Point towards the target. Can the plane make the maneuver instead? Where is the target? Give it a quick save. 400 meters from the target. Can I have RCS enabled? Oh, both. Here's the trouble. Both of them are just so heavy. That's the issue. Point retrograde for a second. Just slow us down entirely. Drop that thrust all the way, like all the way. Oh, no, 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 no. Sticky keys. No, thank you. Not right now. Okay, all the way down. Here we go. Right. Careful. Retrograde. Sorry if this is a bit tedious, I'm afraid. Chase that. There we go. Stop. Okay, now, can we target it from this distance? Probably not, but it shouldn't matter. Keep the RCS off. Even that amount could knock us off. Turn to face the target. Okay, and then a very, very, very little puff forward. There we go. There we go. Okay, sweet. Cut. Stability assist enabled. RCS enabled. Drag that prograde marker onto the target. What I fear is that we won't be able to slow down effectively. Not with these RCS. Alright. Here we go. Quick save and run our way. So make sure I select the docking port as the target that the computer is trying to aim for. Can't quite see it yet. Make sure the craft has got full this way. Come on, turn it round. Which way is it going? There we go. Lovely jubbly. You're clear to come on in. Alright. Sorry, bear with me. The music track is it's a bit quiet. Turn it up. Okay, so for the people just joining, you're looking at a craft which is docking with a space plane in orbit around Kerbal, which is basically the equivalent of Earth. The space plane is eventually due to go to Duna in about 200 days, Duna being Mars, but Mars is not in the right position for the transfer. So instead, we're just getting ready to send the craft. I'll do a burn test to make sure it does indeed work questions concerning its centre of gravity and whether or not we can push it effectively with a toned-down engine have yet to be answered. We've yet to determine if this will even work effectively. If it doesn't, then we'll just redesign a new one. Okay. Cut engine, drifting towards. Speed up time just a smidge. Make sure we got the docking port as the target. I'm pretty sure we do. Got some drift going on there, so initiate RCS. So what I'm trying to do there is I'm moving the yellow circle and the nav ball onto the purple one, which should be the clamp precisely. Right? Nice and gentle now. So, also, yes, so some liquid fuel, some oxidizer, which will serve the tug. And we'll be sure to leave crossfeed enabled so we can get a full readout of its total delta V. We need approximately 2,200 delta V, so note the number down here, everyone. So you'll see this number in fact, this is going to be a wonderful demonstration. We have 5,840 delta V, meaning we can change this craft with this amount of weight, that amount of speed. Delta V. Perfect illustration. If we add more mass, we lose delta V because we're having to push more. So you're about to see an excellent example. So watch that number drop dramatically. That number needs to be above at least 2,200 delta V to complete the mission. Or at least complete the mission reliably. There are alternate options I've considered, such as aerobraking. This is without aerobraking. Stand by. Initiating. Coming on in. Stand by, stand by. Reducing speed. Looking good, looking good. Stand by. Cut RC. Whoa! We had a bounce. Stand by. Give us a push. Unexpected. Unexpected. Hold. Switch retro to pro. Come on. Running low on mono. Come on. We can do this. 21 mono remaining. Push. Push, 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 push. Eensy weensy. Eensy weensy. No more forward momentum. Hold. Kill RCS. Get ready to kill stabilizers. Let the plane do it. Correction, correction, correction. Hold. Stabilizer off. Disable. Engage. We're locked. Docking complete. Okay. The number? 2,629 delta V. The mission is a go. Okay. So, the objective is for this tug to push this amount of mass to Duna, at which point it will be handed over to Jeb, our pilot, who is awaiting an orbit at the space station of Duna. Even if we don't make it straight to the space station, which is probable based on the amount we're pushing, that's okay. Jeb can come here. We've got a space plane already there. It's fine. It's all good. So, the next question will be, can we safely push this? So, stabilizers, hang on, are looking good. I've designed this plane so that this is the center of mass, and if it's not, we can maneuver fuel down into the tug or closer to the center of mass. So, quick save it. Just refuel it? We could do that, but the Rapier engines are very poorly gimbaled. They've got very little motion on them. This has a much stronger gimbal, as you can see. Please control this from this probe. Is crossfeed enabled? Yeah, so control from here. There we go. Point prograde. Disable fuel crossing of the dock. Should I? Because I kind of want the fuel down here. Stand by. Up thrust around 50 on this engine. We probably can't even make that. Not without too much wobble. And down gimbal strength, just a little bit. So, we're going to do a quick save and a quick burn test. So Duna isn't in the right position anyway, so even if I launched it now and flew up to Duna, we would miss it considerably and be waiting years. So this mission will be launched formally in around 280 days, roughly. But for now, let me just quick save and see what happens if I attempt a fake burn. We'll load. So, pretend for the moment that we're going off to Duna. This will be... So Duna's that way, so bear with me. Sorry, Duna's the other way. But we need to point in the direction of Kerbin's motion. Its prograde direction of travel, just like we are orbiting Kerbin. Kerbin is orbiting Kerbal. So, point our direction this way. Stand by. Whoops, did I just pass the maneuvering node? Future orbit. There we go. There we go. So if we increase our speed around 913 delta V, meters per second, we will leave the gravity well of Kerbin and be slightly higher. Alright, so this is just a test, which we'll do in 1 hour's time. Stand by. So, point to face the maneuver, warp to next maneuver. Whee! Lovely. Here we go. Thank you, Mr. Mojo Raisin. Thank you, Mojo Raisin. Thank you sincerely, Mojo. Thank you. Don't forget to disable the plane engines. Ooh, thank you very much. That is a very good shout. That would have gone wrong. Shut down all engines. And don't forget to shut down the Werner engines, even though their thrust is currently 0. Just in case. Oops. I actually switched that on. Which one is... I've got a couple of them switched on. What's that? Whoops. There we go. Excellent. So the only engine enabled is the one at the back. Cool. Thank you. Right. 1 minute, so 40 seconds-ish, roughly. Again, it's just a fake burn, so we're not doing this properly. Quick save again. So, can it handle it? So here we go. Starting up thrust. Doesn't look good, does it? Doesn't look good at all. So down thrust. Yeah, the only thing that's counteracting... Really? Is the gimbal not adjusting? Surely an engine of this strength and that level of gimbal. It's not? What if I do it manually? Really? The probe doesn't know how to utilize the gimbal? No, it does, but it's just... The SAS is too weak. Oh, that's disappointing. Okay. Yeah, up the gimbal limit then. Can it handle it? Down the thrust. Yeah, we can do it. It won't be very comfortable or very efficient, but we can do it. Okay. Can it do it just via probe control? Yeah, okay. It's working. Yeah, mission is a go. We can do this. Not a very efficient burn, but... not a very speedy burn, rather, but... mission's a go. This is possible, everybody. Okay. So, the little probe will push this over to Duna at the right moment. Right, need to quick load. Don't save. Excellent. There we go. Right, so looking at the time, everyone, it's already 15 minutes to 2. I'm quite late for work, I'm afraid. I need to finish up the stream and go and get on with editing Rising Storm Vietnam Bullshittery Part 3. But thank you for watching, folks. Thank you sincerely. On this stream, I managed to launch this space plane for the first ever time, getting a plane from the surface, the runway of Kerbin, up to space with no rocket assistance at all. So just engines and some boosters. So no liquid fuel rockets mounted on the launch pad. No vertical climb is my point. So that's awesome. And also we've sent this tug up to push this heavily upgraded space plane to Duna to replace their existing one, which is like this big. This one is much meatier, so we'll see how it fares. It may still need some upgrades later, of course. This is just an experimental unit. Nevertheless, cool. Right, thank you again, everyone. Have a lovely afternoon. So I'm going to crack on with the editing, much to do. Thank you, Mr. Major Raisin and Nav Davad and Michael. Or Mikkel. Thank you, all of you. Now, let me just have a quick look and see who's doing what amongst my clanmates. 1 minute. Is anyone doing anything that might interest you? Hang on. Just closing my notes there. Right, so in the stream team, we've got Quebec. Quebec is doing some Armour 3. Looks like he's experimenting in Zeus. Okay, well, he's the only one online right now. So I'll hand you over to the backstabbing, brummy spy, the lovely man Quebec. I'll leave you with him. Thank you again. Have a lovely afternoon. See you again soon.